What's up, everybody? Brock here, aka the Brockness Monster, and today I've got a video for a cover art challenge. So this is from Bearded Comic Bro and Cole's Comic Claims, and the goal for this one was to pick your 10 best fighting comic book covers. So the way I did this, I picked out about like 30 covers, and then I just sort of eliminated it down to what my 10 favorite were. So that being said, let's get right into it. So the first one I picked, and these are in no particular order, we've got the Champions, number 16. So Champions Volume 1 was a team consisting of Hercules, Black Widow, Angel, Iceman, and Ghost Rider. Kind of an oddball team, but I actually really like this series. And both issues 16 and 17 had great fighting covers. 17, the last issue of the series, it's actually all of them fighting like some giant sentinels in the background. But I ultimately went with this one. So you've got Magneto in the background. You've got your Champions down here just twisted up with Magneto's magnetism powers. And then, of course, Beast. At this point in time, Beast was actually a member of the Avengers, just throwing a giant boulder at Magneto. So very busy cover. Cover art is by Gil Kane. And that is the first one. Moving right along. Again, these are in no particular order. We've got some 90s foil goodness. Amazing Spider-Man number 375. Of course, I had to have some Spidey on here. I had a few Spider-Man covers picked out, but this one I just thought represented fighting the best. You know what I mean? They're just locked up. You got a Mark Bagley cover, and this is actually the first appearance of Anne Wayne, who later becomes She-Venom. But the challenge wasn't about the key aspects of the issues, but the representation of fighting on the cover. But some of these ended up being keys. So, all right. Next one. We've got The Death of Wolverine number 1. This is the GameStop variant. And I really like this one for fighting because, you got Wolverine and some of his greatest foes. You've got Deadpool, Silver Samurai, Sabretooth, and Lady Deathstrike. This is a Greg Horn cover. And this is actually going to be the newest or most recent cover on my list. And yeah, so Death of Wolverine. Of course, nobody really dies in comics except for Uncle Ben and, well, now Alfred. All right, next one. I had to throw some Juggernaut in there. And instead of going with X-Men, I thought this one represented fighting really well. So we've got Doctor Strange Volume 1, number 182. This is a Gene Colan cover. And yeah, just colors on this one pop. They're just going at, just toe to toe in outer space, alternate reality type of thing. And this is the very short-lived era where Doctor Strange actually wore like a mask type thing. I thought it was a really cool look for him, but it just didn't last very long. And of course, down here it says to fight the Juggernaut. What I would suggest is don't fight the Juggernaut because you'll probably lose. Just saying. All right, next one. We're going back to the 90s with some Jim Lee X-Men. We've got X-Men number 5. Of course, the second appearance of Omega Red. First appearance of Maverick. But I just loved... I like the art on this better than issue 4, which is Omega Red's first appearance. Just with that issue 4, you don't really get to see Omega Red. You see his tentacle thingies or whatever. But yeah, like this one, I mean, they're just locked up. You've got it's a busy cover. It's a Jim Lee cover. So it's busy. You got these like cybernetics and everything, and it's just a great fighting cover. And just for intents purposes, there's 3 copies. I believe I have 4 copies of the first Omega Red. All right, next one, we're going to go back to the Silver Age with Daredevil number 43. Jack Kirby cover. There's not a lot to say. It's fairly simple, but I mean, it is what it is. You've got Cap taking on Daredevil. I believe they're in a boxing ring. You got the, photographers behind them. And a lot of these issues, Daredevil is pitted up against somebody he's just not going to beat. So, there's some classic Doctor Doom covers in the Living Prison storyline. Yeah, just love this cover art. I think there might be even a couple cover swipes to this cover. But I thought that one, it's a sort of one-on-one battle, but very cool fighting cover. All right, next one, we're going to go with a John Byrne cover. We've got Fantastic Four number 243. So my initial picks, I had quite a few Galactus covers, but I went with this one just because, I mean, classic John Byrne. Cover says it all. Everyone versus Galactus. You know, I mean, I don't even know what else to say about it. I love it. So, all right, next one. And we're going back to Wolverine. So Wolverine appeared on this list 3 times. Not really intentionally. It's just sort of happened that way. And, you know, speaking of John Byrne, we got another John Byrne cover. We've got Uncanny X-Men number 133. So you got Wolverine taking on multiple minions of the Hellfire Club. And I thought this was just a great representation of not only fighting, but like the action of Wolverine swiping the claws. You know what I mean? So very cool. All right, so this next one was the first cover I absolutely thought of when I thought of a fighting cover. Now, this character actually has quite a few examples of what would be good fighting covers just because it is what it is. And again, it wasn't about the key aspect or value of the issue, but again, this is one that it just so happened that both things, you know, sort of coincided. So we've got Marvel Premiere number 15. Of course, the first appearance of Iron Fist. So that is another Gil Kane cover. And again, another really good representation of not only fighting, but capturing the action. You know, he's kicking, he's got the fist is swiping. And yeah, really happy to have this one in the collection, especially when you're talking about like Bronze Age keys. Again, wasn't the challenge, but it also just so happened this is one of my favorite fighting covers. All right, and the last one. We are going back to the Silver Age, and we have Avengers number 53. Again, you know, just a big battle cover. You've got the X-Men versus the Avengers. This is actually the first time the X-Men appear in the Avengers title. And you just got to love it. It's a John Buscema cover. And, you know, there's lots of comic book covers where you've got, you know, one team facing off against the other. But I just thought this was a great representation for the challenge. All right, that is it for my fighting covers. So, what did you think? What was your favorite cover that I showed? Feel free to post a video or on Instagram of your fighting covers. Make sure you tag Bearded Comic Bro and Cole's Comic Claims. I will actually link those 2 gentlemen down below so you can find their socials, their YouTube channels. And that'll be it for this one, guys. Thanks.